Hello and welcome everyone to this lecture of company law. As we have started the new chapter, that is declaration of dividend, and in the last lecture we had already covered interim dividend. In this lecture, now we will cover final dividend. Now, what is final dividend? Final dividend is a dividend which is declared at the AGM. AGM means annual general meeting of the company. A provision for AGM is covered under section 96. A video for the same is already uploaded on the channel. Do go ahead and check it out. Now, after this, a final dividend is declared at the AGM of the company and it is recommended by the board of directors. That means board of directors recommend that a dividend, a final dividend has to be given to the shareholders of the company and the rate of dividend at which it shall be declared. This is also recommended by the board of directors in the directors report, or we may also call it as board's report. Board's report. This board's report or directors report is covered under section 134, for which a video will be uploaded soon on my channel. So stay tuned on the channel. Now, final dividend is declared at the AGM of the company, recommended by the board of directors in the directors report, and the rate recommended by the board of directors or a lower rate, this is a very key word, lower rate is required to be approved by the members of the AGM. That means it will be placed at the annual general meeting, and in the annual general meeting, the shareholders of the company will, or the members of the company will pass an ordinary resolution with regards to the declaration for dividend that has to be done by the company. Okay, and the rate which is recommended by the board of directors may be approved, or a rate which is lower. Which is lower means a rate at a higher rate cannot be approved by the members. That is, rate cannot be increased by the members. Say, for example, the board of directors of the company have recommended 5% dividend. The shareholders can either approve either 5% or lower, but cannot approve say 10% dividend, which is higher than the dividend which is recommended by the board of directors. I hope this point is clear. So this is an ordinary business, as we have covered this in the section 102. A video for the same is already uploaded on the channel. Do check the same. And for the purpose of this ordinary business, an ordinary resolution will be sufficient. Okay, this part is clear. Now, what are the sources for declaration of final dividend? That is covered under section 123, subsection 1. First is the profits of the current financial year can be used by the company. Second is profits of the previous financial years can be used by the company. This will be there in the reserves of the company. And these reserves have to be necessarily only free reserves, not any other reserves of the company. And the company may also use a combination of current year profit and previous year profits. That is why it is both A and B. Or even central government or state government may give some money to the company for payment of dividend, or it may also be in the form of guarantee given by such a government. So there are 4 sources through which the declaration of final dividend can be made by the company: the profits of the current financial year, profits of the previous financial year, combination of both, or even the provision of money by the government. I hope this part is also clear. Now, there are some adjustments which have to be done before arriving at such a calculation of such a profit. The profit shall be arrived only after providing for depreciation in accordance with Schedule 2. Such profit shall be arrived only after giving an adjustment for depreciation in accordance with Schedule 2. Also, profits of previous year after providing for depreciation and remaining undistributed, that means credit balance of the P&L account and free reserves can be used by the company as a source for payment of dividend. Finally, the carried over previous losses and depreciation which is not yet provided in the previous year or years, are required to be set off by the company against the profit of the current financial year before the calculation of profits which will be arrived for distribution of dividend. When 1, 2, 3 adjustments are clear. Finally, the amounts of unrealized gains, notional gains, revaluation of assets, or any change in carrying amounts of the asset or liability shall be excluded from the calculation of profits to be arrived for payment of dividend. Okay, so this point is also clear. All these 4 adjustments are clear. Now, capital profits will not be available for distribution. Capital profits will not be available for distribution. Next point is that the company may transfer a part or portion of the profit to reserves. May. That means it is not mandatory. It is not mandatory for the company to transfer a particular percentage of its profits to reserves before the declaration of dividend in any financial year. That means the company may transfer a particular percentage or may also transfer 0% also into its reserves before declaration. So it is at the discretion of the company. It is at the discretion of the company, and it is not mandatory. It is not mandatory that the company transfers any portion of the profit into reserves. I hope this point is also clear. There are a couple of examples given in the institute's module. Do go through that. Now, in case there is an inadequacy or absence of profits, inadequacy or absence of profit for declaration of dividend, what will be the treatment that the company will undergo? Now, company may declare profits out of its accumulated profit. Accumulated profit means previous year's profits, which is transferred to the free reserves. Now, company may use its free reserves for payment of dividend in case there is inadequacy or absence of profit. But there are certain conditions that need to be fulfilled. What are the conditions? The first condition is that, this is very, very important from examination point of view. The first condition is that rate of dividend shall not exceed average rate of dividend which was declared in the immediately 3 preceding years. This is the same as is given in the interim dividend also. So the rate of dividend for the current year shall be less than or equal to rate of dividend, sum of rate of dividend of first preceding year, second preceding year, and the third preceding year, and an average of the same has to be taken out. So the rate of dividend for the current year shall not be more than the average of sum of rate of dividends of the 3 preceding years. I hope this point is also clear. This is the first condition. This is the first condition. What is the second condition? Total amount drawn from such accumulated profits shall not exceed 10% of the paid up share capital or free reserves of the company. So the total amount which you are withdrawing for the payment of dividend out of the accumulated profit shall not exceed 10% of paid up share capital plus free reserves of the company. Okay. The third point is the amount so drawn shall be utilized first for set off of losses incurred in the financial year. Only after the set off of losses of the current financial year, then only you will be able to use it for dividend purpose. The fourth point, very important point, is that after the withdrawal of such an amount, the balance of the reserves should not fall below how much? 15%. Below 15%, should not fall below 15%, should not fall below 15% of paid up share capital of the company. Okay, all these points are very, very important from a case study point of view. I hope you have understood it. Now, payment of dividend can be made by the company to the shareholder who is registered on the register of members, or to his order, or to his banker only. In case there is a transfer and the instrument of transfer is given to the company, the process of transfer is already covered under section 56, and a video for the same is already uploaded on my channel. Do go ahead and check it for understanding this process. Whenever there is a transfer, an instrument of transfer is delivered to the company, and on receipt of the instrument of transfer, but the company has not yet registered the transfer. In that case, the amount of dividend will be transferred to the unpaid dividend account. Unpaid dividend account. I will cover this unpaid dividend account, which is under section 124 in my next lecture. In my next lecture, where I will also discuss this particular example. Okay, the company shall pay dividend only in cash, not in kind. Cash would include check or any electronic mode of payment. Okay, so this point is also clear. Finally, the last point of this particular section 123 is that prohibition on declaration of dividend. If any company is defaulting in the compliance of the provisions of section 73 and 74, which is about acceptance of public deposits, in that case, the company cannot declare dividend to its equity shareholders. Also, a company which is registered under section 8, that is an NPO, non-profit organization, cannot issue or declare dividend to its members. I hope this final dividend provisions are also clear to you now. And with that, we come to the end of section 123. That's it from me for this particular session. And if you have understood it, do press the like button. If you're not yet subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel and share it with your friends and groups. Thanks a lot. Stay healthy, stay safe.